Drew, this is your third NFC Championship game, but first in like 9 years. Does the time differential give you a different appreciation for it, or have you always had the same appreciation for how hard it is to get to this point?
I think I've always had that appreciation. Listen, I had the chance to be a part of some great teams here and a lot of playoff games. But yeah, three NFC Championship games in 13 years. It's a hard game to get to. That's for sure. And so we won't take that for granted.
When you look at their defense, how are they different with Aqib Talib in there than maybe the first time you saw him?
Yeah, listen, he's one of the captains for their defense. He's a veteran player, so there's a presence there. There's a level of leadership. Obviously, he's a very productive player. They got two elite corners, and you saw them, make those moves in the offseason, and so you knew the intent of that. And yeah, he's a difference maker.
Speaking of that, Marcus Peters wasn't happy about some of the things that Sean said after the first game. Have you followed any of that? You have any? I'm guessing you saw it, right?
I think I saw one thing, but I really haven't followed it. No.
Trying your best to avoid it?
I guess.
Drew, getting to this game, is that something that the younger players already understand, or is it something you have to kind of explain, hey guys, it's not that easy to get here, you can't expect to be here every year?
I think that's been well communicated, really, as we've journeyed through the season here, and as we've hit every benchmark and made it to each level that we aspire to get to. Don't take it for granted, appreciate it. It takes a lot of hard work to get here. We are still a young team in a lot of areas, but we also have a lot of great veteran leadership, and I think those guys
about that NFC Championship game, the atmosphere, the build-up to it, everything about it.
Well, it was crazy. It was electric, and I'd say too, that year, obviously we were tracking, the Vikings were tracking, and so I think we all felt like that's who we were going to see in the NFC Championship game. I think this year, in many respects, that was kind of the same idea. As we looked across the league and saw what the Rams were doing and the success that they were having, they're a phenomenal team, and they had a great season. Obviously, we played them, mid-season, and it was a hard-fought game on both sides of the ball. But I think we had a feeling then that obviously we aspired to be in this situation, and I think we all had a feeling that they were going to be the team that we might face again, and so here we are.
Drew, what do you think Sean's best attribute is as a play caller?
I think Sean has a great feel for the game. We have a pretty extensive play call list. The writing is so small you can hardly read it. There's so many plays on that thing. But I think what it is he's got all that there at his discretion, depending on what he's feeling and then the situation of the game. And obviously we have a plan, and we talk about that extensively throughout the week, as far as what we're looking for. If they start playing us in a bunch of this, then we've got this package of stuff we can get to. Hey, first time we get to a fourth down and short, this is what I want to call. If here's our critical situation call if we're trying to get to field goal range. Here's our 4th and 2 call on going in to score, just like we did against the Eagles in the second quarter, to score that touchdown, which was a critical play in the game. So you talk about these situations, and obviously these are in his memory bank. So the minute he feels like, all right, this is the time, this is the situation, he's able to dial it up, and we all know it's coming, because we've talked about it, and so a lot of confidence comes with that.
How much do you appreciate that synergy between you and your head coach?
I appreciate it a lot. Listen, we've had a lot of time together, and so there's things that we can reference that might be unique to our relationship, different than others. We've had 13 years together, so something can come up through the course of the game, and we can midstream adjust very fast. I mean, we can reference something that happened this season or reference something that happened 10 years ago, based upon a look that we're seeing or just a situation. And I think that's unique.
Drew, the details of the offense, route depths, spacing, things like that. What's the process during the practice week of you guys kind of honing in on what you want to do with that stuff individually?
Well, this is why you spend so much time in the off season as well. You know, we have a base offense, and then we evolve and build off of that offense. We are very game plan oriented. You know, so each and every week, there's very few calls that are replicated from the week before, and if they are, it's new shifts, motions, formations, personnel groups potentially. So we change things up quite a bit. And so there's a lot of time on task that takes place during the week just to absorb all of that. But I'd say, you know, the concepts and the splits and the depths and a lot of the stuff that we're doing is stuff that, man, we rep. From off season until, you know, through the preseason until now. So there's a lot of time on task that's taken place and a lot of muscle memory. And so there's a lot of trust and confidence that comes with that.
Drew, what's it like going against Wade Phillips as many times as you have? Is it a chess match where he tries to keep you guessing, or there's something you always know you're going to face against him?
You know, it's always an aggressive style of defense. I feel like they always have great pass rushers. They always get after the quarterback. That's been a trademark of his defenses for a long time. So he's not afraid to dial it up. But I got a ton of respect for him and how hard he has his defenses playing all the time.
You mentioned that 4th and 2 situation. How much do you guys look forward to those, considering the amount of success that you've had in those 4th down situations?
Well, I think we would have liked to have scored on 3rd down, but if we have to score on 4th down, then you know, you want to have a call ready, and you have the right call ready. But again, that's why you practice. That's why you plan. Because you don't want to get caught in the situation and feel like you don't have an answer. You know, I mean, part of the reason you work so hard and the reason everybody stays up so late during the week is to make sure that we have the calls that we're confident with when it comes to those situations.
Drew, you mentioned at a couple of post-game press conferences this year that you guys have won games in multiple ways. So just how much more confidence does that give you in the NFC Championship game? And there's a number of ways you guys have prepared to win a game.
Well, you know, just as an example, obviously we didn't start the way we wanted to this last playoff game, right? We get down 14-0 after the first two series, but nobody blinked, you know, nobody flinched. Obviously that's not the way we wanted to start, but we knew we could overcome that, and I feel like we've overcome a lot of situations throughout the season, especially over the last 6 weeks. So I think that does give us a lot of confidence, just knowing that we can win in a lot of different ways. And no matter what the situation, listen, you play a team like this, you know it's going to be hard fought, you know it's going to come down to the last possession more than likely, and you feel like, you know, everybody on the field on our side of the ball, offense, defense, special teams, if there's a play that needs to be made, we can make it.
Considering their pass rush, Drew, specifically on the interior, is the quick passing game something you talked to Sean more about this week, maybe more so than a previous week, or is that something y'all consider?
I think we mix it up a lot, you know. We try to be very diverse in what we do. We always try to give defenses a lot to think about, a lot to worry about, with our formations, with our personnel groups, with our shifts, motions, with our run game, our play action, our drop back, our screen game, you name it. You know, we always go into every game with a lot of stuff.
How did you balance your birthday and Balin's birthday yesterday with your normal game week prep?
Yesterday was a very normal day for me.
So,
yeah, come in early and get grinding on the film, and you know, get home in time for dinner and hang out with the kids and have a little cake and read them bedtime stories and tell them to quit talking and laughing and go to bed.
What time do you do that?
Jared, it does seem like from just the pictures of your party and stuff, you're embracing turning 40 and not running from it. And could you reflect on how much has changed since the last time you were in this game? I mean, Balin was 1.
Yeah.
You probably can't remember it. Now you got 4 kids.
Yeah.
How special it is to have them. I mean, they'll remember this one.
Yeah, they will. And they're so football crazed right now. That's what makes this so much fun. I mean, I asked my middle son the other day. We had some one-on-one time, and I said, "Hey, what's your most favorite thing to do?" He said, "Go to the Saints facility with Dad." So, you know, that kind of stuff is what memories are made of, and you know, you want them to enjoy those moments as much as possible and give them those moments as much as possible. And so, you know, listen, they love football, they love the Saints, they love our team, they love this season, and we're just trying to stay in the moment and enjoy it as much as we can.
Sure, Teron finally got some accolades this year. What, if anything, was different about the way he played?
Well, I don't think anything was different. I think that for any young player, I think especially maybe offensive line, defensive line, you typically have a Pro Bowl season where you don't get selected before you actually get selected, right? It takes that year for everybody to say, all right, who's this guy, you know? And then finally, you know, you get the respect you deserve. So I feel like he's been playing at a high level for a long time, and it's great to see him get the recognition he deserves.
He's dealt with injuries, you know, for his whole career. How tough was it for you to see him lose like a third of the season on really a fluke thing?
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's a part of this game, unfortunately. But he's battled through a lot, you know, throughout his entire career, and obviously this year as well. I'm just glad to have him back at this stretch here.
Jared, last question. Jared Goff has talked about what spending time with you meant for him at the Pro Bowl, and you kind of offered him some advice. But you've done that with some young quarterbacks in the past, but you know, you knew, like you said, he might become your rival for a big game like this. Why is it important to you to be able to do stuff like that for someone like that?
Well, listen, I was a first, second, third year player in this league at one point, and I had an incredible mentor in Doug Flutie in San Diego, who, you know, I remember one of my first conversations with him was, you know, at some point you and I are going to be competing against each other for the starting job, right? You know, they drafted you in the second round, and, you know, I think Doug was 39 at the time, you know, and yet still playing at such a high level. But I learned so much from him. And he was such a competitor, in my opinion, still one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play professional football at a ton of different levels, right? USFL, CFL, NFL, you name it. Never got the respect he deserved. But and I've had other guys too. I remember during the Super Bowl run in '09, having Trent Dilfer reach out to me and having Kurt Warner reach out to me and other guys just to kind of offer some words of wisdom and advice as to how to approach that week and that kind of thing. So, and throughout my career, especially early on in my career, I had a ton of guys that I would speak to, whether directly or just indirectly. You know, maybe they would see me and offer it. And I always appreciated that. I always felt like that made a difference. And I told myself at that time that, man, hopefully I can play long enough to where there's guys that start, you know, asking advice from me, you know, and I want to make sure that I pay it forward just like those guys did.
What do you see in Goff in particular?
Oh man, he's tremendous. There's not many guys that are just better, you know, pure passers, throwers. You know, you watch what they do with their offense. There's a lot of moving parts, and I think he handles it very, very well. I think he creates great timing and rhythm in the passing game, and obviously he had a phenomenal season last year, but he's had an even better season this year. The future is really bright for him.
Thanks, Jared.